Hey everybody, it's Tyler with Gaia Gaming, and I am here to share with you a deck list. This should be going up after my last deck list for Gen Con. These are both my Gen Con deck lists. This is the list I played on Sunday. A few notes before we get into it. This was a best of one event. They let us know the night before. For the integrity of the competitive play, it would be best of one because we had to be absolutely finished with the tournament before 4 p.m. And it started at 9, so we wanted to get through all 7 or 8 rounds in that time. So they did move it to best of one. I was committed to playing 2 different decks for Saturday and Sunday at Gen Con. On Saturday, I did play Hunters. I placed 18th. Might have gotten my invite. Sunday, best of one, I went with Royal Knights. It was either going to be Royal Knights or the Ragna combo. I saved Ragna combo for if I did for sure get my invite on Saturday, because I do have a lot of fun with the Ragna combo deck. But I had to go with this new deck. I built it, might as well play it while it's still BT13. I do have a lot of fun with it. I do really enjoy Royal Knights as a playstyle. I'm going to go through my build, my ratios, my choices, explain them a little bit. I did end up going 6-1. Only losing round 1, and I had so much friendly fire this event. I played almost exclusively people who were on my team, or people I knew very closely, or test with very closely, or just know in general. I think I only played 2 people I didn't know before the event started, or rather, 1 person I didn't know before the event started, and 1 person who I knew vaguely and met at Gen Con, and it was just so much friendly fire. But without further ado, let's talk about Royal Knights. Royal Knights is a deck type that does kind of combo. It has a lot of cost reduction, plays things very cheap, kind of a Mega Zoo style build, and it has some interesting plays. You guys know me, I like non-traditional deck types. I don't really love tower decks. I do love some weird stuff, and Royal Knights does get a little weird. So 4 eggs, you're always going to play King Drazel as the eggs. It's what facilitates the whole Royal Knight stuff. You hatch 1, and then you start tucking the other ones underneath, sucking up your Royal Knights, reducing the cost, getting memory back when you play delays with Royal Knight traits, just everything you want to be doing. Well, let's talk about the 4 ofs. Obviously, you're going to play 4 Omnimon. It's the kill button of the deck. When you do play it, on play or when digivolving, you pop something. Or you pop your eggs and you play 1 Royal Knight with you play every Royal Knight you can with a different name from the sources. So this will add the sources under, and then eventually you play the Omnimon to pop everything out with Rush. It gives everything Rush on the turn it plays, and you win, hopefully. Or you pop it prematurely and you just hope you survive. We'll talk about that too. Other 4 ofs, I play 4 Dynasmon. It is your best search card. Top 4, grab 2 Royal Knights cards, the rest go to trash. Filling your trash can be important in certain builds. I'll explain why. 4 of the Magnamon. It's your cheapest boy. It's a blocker, and when he's removed from the battle area, you draw a card. So he's a great opener if you're going first. He's a great way to just get another Royal Knight under cheap and free. Draw a card, get a little bit of a boost. 3 ofs. I played 3 Gallantmon. The new Gallantmon pops a 6k on play when attacking when digivolving. He has Rush. So you're popping a 6k or less. If you don't, you pop a 13k or more. There's just a small window in between, and usually those are things you're not too worried about, but he's great. Other 3 ofs, I do play 3 of the Leopardmon. There is a cool combo when you get this back with Purge. So you combine the reduction from your eggs with the reduction from this. It's an additional 4 from this, so realistically you only need 2 sources other than the eggs itself under a full stack of King Drazel to get Omnimon out for 1 or free 2 to 3 sources. So you could pop off really early using Leopardmon. He gives everyone blocker when you play another Digimon or Royal Knight. So that's really good. Speaking of those kind of effects, Dynasmon, when you play another Royal Knight or a Luceamon, which I don't run any, you pop all of your opponent's level 4s, so that could come up. I opted to play 3 Gankuamon. Gankuamon, his on play when digivolving, is that you can play a Royal Knight from sources of your King Drazel other than Gankuamon or Omnimon, or a Sistermon from your trash. So one of those is really good leading up to the combo turn. One of those is really good during the big turn where you play the Omnimon. And he just helps you facilitate and extend a lot of really cool plays against a lot of different decks that could mean trouble. One of those being Alphamon. I play 3 Alphamon because against big bad decks and mirror matches, it really does stop your opponent from winning, for lack of a better term. When you do play it, you could tuck an X Antibody or Royal Knight and its sources from your trash to stop your opponent from attacking you, the player, with any 10 costs or higher. And then when he would be removed from the battle area from an effect, you can tuck one of his sources with X Antibody or Royal Knight to the bottom of your deck to let him stay on the field, which could come up too, because when King Drazel goes to tuck him, you could just put that card to the bottom of your deck and decide you have a 12k on board for one more turn. It doesn't come up super often, but it might. For 2 ofs, these are cards I felt were mildly important, but not important enough to run 3 of. I got 2 Jessamon, and this is mainly for the turn where you do the big pop. It gives a lot of buff, which really helps you in the mirror get over things in security. It can pop pesky blockers. Also, just getting up, he's 11, so he's relatively cheap, and he could usually pop the board by himself, like a 6k, just to answer some of their momentum, kind of keep them in pace with you. Overall, I think it's good as a 2 of. I wouldn't hate it as a 1 of if you like some of the other things that I run as 1 ofs as 2 ofs, etc. I played 2 Craniumon, mostly because I thought Hunters would be a big match, and this is almost exclusively a you win the game card against Hunters. Every time you slam them, it'll buy you a turn, because their Arrestdramon Superior Mode will not be able to tuck it or tuck anything under it, and he is a 13k blocker that could force them to attack, so you can essentially kill their thing whenever you need to. Get it back with Gankumon to do the same thing, etc. A lot of people only run 1 of this. I really like it at 2. It's a really good control, kind of control-y combo piece. But yeah, if you want to cut it to 1 and try something else, the world is your oyster. For my 1-ofs, I played a single Ulforce Veedramon. This is something that I could see at 2 of because it is really good against Shine. It never came up for me. It never performed in any significant way for me other than just being an 11 cost, so it was usually very cheap, and an additional name under Drazel. You can, again, switch the ratio with these and this. I see a lot of people play 2 or 3 of this. I get it, because in more numbers, it does get a very higher payoff yield. I don't love it that much, to be honest with you. In Japan, I know they play like 2 or 3, and then they play Blue Tamers to get the effect more often. Again, it didn't blow me away. I play a single Lord Nightmon, and I think you'd be a fool to not run 1, because if all your Omni are in security, or if whatever the reason you have a Omni in security and you don't draw 1, it lets you get it back. On the turn you pop off, you can use this to get back several pieces, several cards that will help you. If you can't win the turn you pop off, this will help you kind of segue into a more long game, a more longevity-based game. I really, really like one of Lord Nightmon. And where did it go? Where did I drop a card? Oh, it's right here in my hand. Ha! Single Kentorosmon. I could take it or leave it. The biggest thing for this is the +3 memory for the when digivolving if there's 6 or less security. There's just some cool tricks you could do with that. Recovering, if you reveal a yellow, so if you reveal a Magnadramon or a Marcus, because I do play Marcus, you can recover it. It can swing twice. That never came up. The memory gain has come up in testing, but never came up during the event itself. I do think it's a really strong 1-of, but again, your mileage may vary. You can switch out the ratios for whatever you'd like. I am running the GX version, so I'm running 3 GXs. What GX brings to the table for the version of the deck that I play is after you do pop off, you can evolve into it, and this thing goes wild when you can evolve into it. You know, it gets security +1 for every Royal Knight and its traits, so you're going to get at least 2. The one you evolve over, and then 1 for its when digivolving effect. You could even get to 3 because the alpha when Digivolving effect can tuck another one under. That comes up. Then the turn, if you have to segue into a late game, like pop early without the ability to lethal, you can swing with this and take all their security. It has piercing. If you end up with reboot, it has blocker. It's just a big boy, and I'll talk about some cool combos when we get to it. Other Digimon that just help you with your game plan. I play 2 Omekamon. I was at 4 for a little bit, then I was at 3. I settled on 2 just because 1 card for 4 doesn't feel great. It does help you speed up your game plan a little bit, but sometimes it's just not worth dropping the 4 cost. Sometimes it's worth, it'll pass turn, and that feels bad. I do like it at 2. You can run more if you like. You can run less if you like. I'm running 3 Blanc. I think it unbricks your hand really well, and it has good synergy with the Yankuamon. Again, if you like it, you could go up to 4. If you don't, you cut it to 2. You get switched around with the Omekamon. I think the 2 cards is more important. I think dumping something in trash is good with the Alphamon count, with the Jesmon count. Sometimes you do want to dump cards in trash, which brings me to my one of. I wasn't running this. I was running a Porcupamon to out Solarmons and Psychmons, and then I said to myself, if they got it, they got it. It almost never helped as a one of. So I went with this, and this came up so much. I would just get this in trash and then bring it back with the Gankuamon on the turn I Omni'd. Everything would get reboot, and that would kind of seal the game because they'd all have blocker from the Leopardmon. You can run 2 of it. You can run none of it. I like it at 1. I think it comes up just enough. My other removals for Floodgates are just 3 Marcus. At worst, he's a Memory Tamer. At best, he answers a Floodgate and they can't recur it. It could be a hit in security. You could recover it with Kintorosmon. It deserves at least a 2-0 spot in here, if I'm being honest. 3. It's your preference. You need to run 4 of the Purge. The Purge is a delay card. It lets you draw a card on play, and then put a Royal Knight from your hand in the sources of a King Drazel, and then it enters the battlefield. When it does, you'll gain memory based on how many of these are in its own inheritables, and yeah, it helps you pop off. When you delay it, you can get something from sources. It gains rush. It leads to a lot of really cool combos. Some of my favorite are just getting the Leopardmon, then using that reduction to play anything cheaper, primarily the Omnimon to pop off that turn. Or you can use it to get out a Craniummon, swing, force them to attack with something they don't want to at the end of the next turn. You can pop it to get out a GX, swing with 15, and then use this next option, 3 Psychic Mappas, to unsuspend your GX. If you have a Marcus on the field, it's still your turn. Then you get to activate as when Digivolving, put a Royal Knight under him, swing again with Piercing, Security +1, maybe +2. Then you're at 0. If you have another Psychic Mappa, play it. Put them at 3. Put another thing under him. Swing again, because Blitz is his 1 when Digivolving skill. It's all 1 when Digivolving skill. So you get to activate it with Psychic Mappa. GX gets used as when Digivolving skills with Psychic Mappa. Then I've taken, just through being cheeky, 5 checks with a Jesmon GX before. 4 checks. It's not unheard of to take 3 as like just 1 bang bang, bang bang, and then he goes to your sources and you're set up for a much smaller pop off. Like we were talking about, if you turn 1 play the Purge, put this underneath, then turn 2 play this, let it die, go underneath. Then you pop the Purge for this, swing, get your 3 checks. You have another Purge, what have you. Get this to this. That's all you need. 6 swings altogether, with 6 checks worth of swings. I think the GX version is a lot more interesting. It gives you a better late game. It gives you a better mid game. I shouldn't say a better late game. It gives you better longevity, but it gives you a better mid game, which is what you need against a lot of decks that threaten you and press you in that time. I feel like I've been rambling a while. This deck's really fun. This is the version I like a lot. There is a non-GX version without Psychic Mappas, without GXs. That's totally valid version. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with Royal Knights. You can make it your own. I Got 13th with this. Went 6-1 in a best of one format. I played 2 Belfies. I played an Alphamon. That was my loss. I played Hunters. I played Security Control. I played Shine. I played 2 Belfies, Alpha, Security Control, Hunters. Oh, I played 2 Hunters, and I played a Mirror. I didn't play Shine with this. I don't think. Or did I only play 1 Belfie? I'm getting Saturday and Sunday mixed. Anyway, that's Row Nights. It's a lot of fun. Try it out. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support. Join the Discord. Play in our events. I love you. I said I love you, but I love you again. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye. That only covers this. I thought it would cover the whole screen.